Shut up and sit down.
Pop culture.
Is that what we are now?
Well, we're gonna. Yeah, we are that. We are that now. We're the useful idiots. Pop culture.
Pop culture. This is our first attempt.
Yeah, movie review for today.
Movie review.
And I have to say, it was like I haven't watched like movies in a long time. I don't really watch movies
I had
anymore.
to drag you out of movie retirement.
Oh, God,
To do this, so to watch this movie, so we could record this and talk about it.
Yeah, which is a big feat for Paul. You guys should give him a round of applause. Actually, I think that there's a audience.
ready?
Give him a clap. The guy's a real champ. He's a real champion.
Please clap.
He's a real champ. He actually got me out of movie retirement because the last movie that I saw was Get Out. That was a great movie.
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that? Great movie.
Who's in it?
I forgot their names. We'll talk about that later after the show, and I can actually focus on it.
So we saw Avengers: Infinity War.
Avengers: Infinity War. Yeah, which I can't remember. I didn't see the last Spider-Man, the most recent Spider-Man, and I did not see.
Should we give the spoiler warning now? We should have made a spoiler warning.
Yeah, we should have made it like spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
Like the early morning radio back in the 90s.
So if you haven't seen Avengers: Infinity War, at some point we're going to spoil it.
I was thinking that they should just listen through no matter what.
Well, yeah. Listen through no matter what.
Yeah.
Come back after you've seen Avengers: Infinity War.
Okay, yeah, sure. Whichever one. As long as you listen
Or
to the
unless you
episode.
want to be spoiled and then go see it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea because it's really the useful idiot spoiler. So it's like not really a normal spoiler. So
We're like the last video on the search
yeah. So
that someone's going to be on after they watch all the other like professional reviews and then all the other comic book reviewers.
yeah, you're gonna finally see 5 views.
Useful idiots.
Useful idiots.
I guess.
Yeah, why
I
not?
love the Avengers.
Might as well see what these guys say about it. So
The last movie you saw was, did you see Homecoming or no?
No, I did not see Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh man, so this was like your introduction to Spider-Man?
Yeah,
in
it was the
MCU?
new Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man, complete introduction to it, which, spoiler, it was sad. It was so sad because they didn't even I didn't get to see him develop as a character, and all I got to see
You
was
didn't get to really see. Wait, did you see Captain America: Civil War?
Yeah, I've seen all the Captain America.
So you saw them at least introduce Spider-Man.
Yeah, I saw him introduce it, but I never got to see any character development, and I really liked what I saw out of the Spider-Man, the Spider Kid, little Spider Boy. He's a young kid. I was really happy with what I saw out of him. He was kind of showing his heroics, the thing that he was trying to show Iron Man his heroics, and he tried, and it just.
I thought he was going to parachute back to Earth, and that was going to be it.
Yeah, I actually thought the same thing, but of course that didn't happen. He ends up sticking it out the rest of the movie with Iron Man, and I also did not see what's the Black Panther.
Yeah.
I've only watched like reviews of it and other things.
Very, very high reviews of it. I mean, it was a good movie for sure.
You saw it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. See, I wasn't really into the whole scene. Like,
The only movies I see are mostly MCU movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I watch them all mainly just because I don't know what it is about being a man. We have this weird little crushes about superheroes. I mean,
Whoa. What do you mean weird?
It's weird. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just, when a superhero movie comes out, for whatever reason, I feel the need to watch it, and I feel so engaged when I do watch it. And I made fun of people who liked superheroes growing up, but I secretly loved them.
You made fun of people like me.
I made fun of a lot of people, though.
You know, it's funny. I remember in the 90s, like, I would go to this comic shop, and, there were no superhero movies at that time. I'd go to this comic shop and I'd buy comics, right? And they'd give me like the comics in a brown paper bag. And
Like you're buying liquor or porno mags.
Yeah. So I'd like rush home, which is only a few blocks from there, and I would just hope nobody saw me buying comics.
Yeah, and I can understand because you would have been ridiculed and pushed inside of a locker. Well, you're a little bit bigger, so you probably couldn't do it.
No, I was skinnier then.
Oh, you were skinnier
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, you were actually like average
I was
size.
probably like $130.
Wow, that is a light boy. Yeah, but so being that I actually got to watch this, I got to see the Spider-Man. I was really happy with him, but just in general, this movie was epic. It was epic. Paul, we did not talk to each other at all about this movie.
I know it's a few days since we both saw Avengers: Infinity War, and we've had like a cone of silence over each other.
You have no idea how much I wanted to talk about this.
It was so epic, wasn't it?
We called each other because we talk on the phone about the show and everything, and I was straining. Like, you should have seen the vein popping out of my forehead trying to hold back my excitement about talking about this.
So, like, the Thor story arc, like, I cannot believe how much I like that, because I don't really... I like Thor, but I don't love Thor. But when he appeared on Earth, after he got the new hammer, the Stormbreaker, and he appeared, and he throws the hammer and saves everybody, and then he's like there. I just wanted to jump up and cheer, like, in that moment. I can't, man. I don't usually feel that way at a movie theater.
Never. Okay, sorry. Almost never.
Almost never.
I was 100% with you, because I actually never liked any of the Thor movies. I was not engaged. I never
Like
even...
Thor Ragnarok, I hated.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was too many jokes. I thought it was, like, so lame. Like, I didn't think the jokes were funny. I thought it looked interesting, but it just fell flat.
I agree with you fully. And to me, that's how a lot of the Marvel movies are. There's a lot of comedic relief in every single Marvel movie. And you know what?
Not this one. Well, I mean, there was...
It was endless comedic relief in this movie. I have never been paying attention to every single joke inside of a movie before. And
Paying attention in what way?
I guess I knew that there was comedic relief in Marvel movies, and I wanted to, as in for the review, to kind of pay attention to how they were able to place the comedic relief in these movies. And this is easily the most peppered movie with comedic or with jokes and comedic relief than I've ever seen. And if you missed it, then I think that you need to rewatch it.
There was a lot of comedic relief, but I feel like that relief was necessary, man, because it was so intense.
It was very intense. But I don't have a problem with comedic relief. This was one of the funniest movies I have watched in a long time. And that's saying this is an action superhero movie based off of comic books. And
that was a serious movie.
That was a serious movie that had me laughing pretty much throughout the entire film. I should say that I think that the Guardians of the Galaxy are one of the funniest crews. Have
you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
in fact, one of my favorite movies of the past, I don't know, 8 years would probably be Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Number 2 was also really good, but 1 was...
You were disappointed in number 2, huh?
Compared to 1, yeah, I was. I think it was maybe because it was just so innovative.
At the time?
Yeah, and then the first one was so innovative in its style of shooting and the actual writing of it.
Things I know nothing about.
Yeah. I never read the comic books. I don't know if you've ever read the Guardians of the Galaxy comic books.
I was vaguely familiar. There's been different itinerations of the Guardians of the Galaxy concept.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the one that they did in the movies, like one of the more recent versions. Like, for them to like adopt a story that was that new, like, to me, was kind of surprising.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of...
I mean, I guess it's been out since probably 2006 now, or 5. So I guess the concept's... When did Guardians of the Galaxy 1 come out?
The first one, about 2014, I think.
14,
Yeah,
13,
2014.
somewhere in that?
Yeah, somewhere in that range. I was still working at Toyota then.
Oh, okay.
So I know that it had to be about a year and a half before that. So that's how I kind of base all my timetable off of in life is the Toyota time. But that's what a lot of it was. Now, we could talk about the entire movie and the entire cast for hours, but we really need to kind of touch on the fact that this was the best villain I've seen in any comic book movie ever.
Better than Heath Ledger Joker?
Okay, okay.
That's sort of the sacred cow.
That is the sacred cow, and nothing will ever beat that in any villain movie. I've never watched a movie, maybe The Usual Suspects. No, not The Usual Suspects. What's the movie? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, was it dog? Is a dog barking?
Yes.
I was wondering what that noise was.
I wasn't sure if you could hear that or not.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it at first. Oh yeah, we should say we're in the new studio. It's a temporary studio. It's
Our downgraded studio.
Yeah, it's my garage. So this will be temporary until I get my old studio up and running again. I'm not going to get into why it's down, but just know that we're in my garage.
Sad, embarrassing podcasters we are.
So like, besides Heath Ledger's the Joker, I think that Thanos was amazing. You were able to fully grasp what this guy's ideology was, why he was doing what he was doing. You were able to really feel him as a character because he actually let down his wall. Like, you know, in any other comic book movie, they're all just very one-dimensional. Thanos, you actually saw him break down that moment when he took Gamora as a young child from her home planet, and you could see that was one of the few times you've ever seen him care about anything. He turned her face away from them being
the
violence, and then raised her. Now, she obviously did not embrace him as a father figure, but
she still felt something towards him.
Yeah. Well, that's all the only father figure she had in life, and but the fact that was the only thing that he loved in the entire universe was her. And on top of that, his beliefs on how to save the universe were
population reduction,
genocide was terrible. And I don't agree with the guy, but you really understood where he was coming from, and he was working for that goal. And he was able to take on the entire the entire Marvel universe, basically, of all the superheroes and all of everyone who can fight against him. He took them all on. How in the world? I've hated comic books my entire life because it's a situation where you have the most powerful being fighting regular things, or just anybody who shouldn't be able to actually compete with them. Thanos was the first time I've ever seen a villain actually hold his own and actually give you a moment of fear that they were not going to be able to beat him.
Well, they sure didn't.
They didn't. Yeah, they actually didn't. Which is unprecedented in my mind. I don't see movies like this often.
When Thor when Thanos got the last Infinity Gem and held his hand up, and then Thor came in, and did you think that was going to be the good guys win? I
really thought that they were going to win, and they didn't.
So you were pretty shocked when he still snapped his fingers?
Well, when he snapped his fingers, I actually was not shocked, but because they took that moment where he went to that other world, the netherworld or whatever that he went to.
I think they call that the soul world.
The soul world?
I did some research on
Thank you. I'm glad you did. I'm just going to call it the nether world. So he went over there, and I honestly thought that maybe he actually did die, and he didn't have the ability to pull off the killing of half of the population of the entire universe. And I thought that it was done. I also did not know they were making a second movie coming out next year. So
it's already made.
I was naive enough to if I knew that, it probably would have changed my perception of everything in the entire movie. But because of the fact I did not know that, it built up this movie to another level.
Well, I mean, I knew that they were going to make they're making another movie for next year, and I'm somewhat familiar with the original comic stories. But still, seeing it happen and unfold on the big screen, it still got to me.
Yeah, you sent me that meme of Thor sitting back, laughing, and then
before and after.
Yeah, chuckling before, and then just that dead face after, like stunned face afterward.
I mean, like, man, at the end of that movie, like, I don't know if my kids were crying because I didn't want to look at them and see them crying.
I would understand if they did. I felt lost afterward when I saw all the death.
It was like okay, so like the scene happened where he snapped his fingers and everyone starts dying, and then the credits roll, and the credits, I will say, I kept thinking about the credits for some reason before the movie the
post credits,
not the post credits, but the actual credits themselves, okay. Because I thought if it was going to be a bad ending, that they should not do, like, because their credit scenes are always very colorful and very they show it in weird ways, but it was all just black and white. very plain. The music was right.
Yes, it was.
And then the post-credit scene was right, like, because sometimes they'll interject humor in these post-credit scenes.
They did.
Which they did a little, but people were still dying.
Yeah.
In the post-credit scenes, and then the Captain Marvel little teaser for the next movie.
That's what it was.
That was Captain.
It was Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah,
because I don't know comic books.
That's
so
Captain Marvel's symbol that she wears on her chest.
Wow.
Well, there's been different Captain Marvels, but that's always been the symbol for Captain Marvel. Was what you saw.
Very nice. Thank you. I'm glad that you know this stuff because you just gave me much more. I watched. For people who don't know, I've actually missed a lot of the end credits. The post credits.
Luke didn't know about the post credits scenes from Marvel movies
for a very long time, like just for too long. Like it's shameful how long.
There's YouTube video compilations of the post credit scenes. I'll send one to you.
Please do, because it's just shameful to watch. 2005 was like the first Marvel movie?
2008.
2008.
Yeah. First Iron Man.
I don't think I saw a first post credit scene.
I got
like
tipped off before I saw the first Iron Man movie that there was a post credit scene that I need to stay to the very end. I don't even think we called them post credit scenes then. I just knew to stay to the end.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know about Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, you've never seen the original post credit scene. The original post credit scene is Tony Stark. He walks into his house. And Jarvis says, "Welcome home," and then like it kind of like fades off. And then Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson's standing there, and he says something like, "I want to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative," which at that moment in time there was no plans for Avengers. Nick Fury. In the comics, there was a version of Nick Fury that was made to look like Samuel L. Jackson. That happened before, years before, so it was all kind of like full like circle, like Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and then he was going to do this cameo role, and he teases the Avengers, and it was, oh my God, the Avengers, and I lost my mind.
I can understand that. I mean,
as a comic book, I was still actively reading comics at that time,
which he was a grown man at that point, guys.
Yeah, I read comics from my early teen years to I was preteen years to well into my. Did I go into my 30s? I don't think I went quite into my 30s.
No.
Close.
I'm hoping that.
Oh, no. I stopped. My last monthly book I stopped reading was like in 2012, so I was like 32.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that
I'm older now.
Yeah, people know.
I think I just said my age, didn't I?
You did. You gave away your age. A good thing I'll never give mine away. So everybody, hopefully, that listens to the Useful Idiots pop culture will maybe now be able to understand how we're going to be coming at it from two different angles. We're going to have the man who actually is a big fan of comic books and comics and what would you call that art? What would you call that kind of art?
Comic book art?
Wow. Comic book art.
I don't like the term graphic novels.
Graphic novels.
I hate
That's
the term
exactly
No,
what
they're
it
comic
was.
books. That's what they are.
Why couldn't you just
like when I hear somebody say graphic novels, I'm like, oh, you poser.
It's graphic
They're
novel
comics.
is exactly what the word I was looking for too.
I mean, that's like when they're trying to sound sophisticated, but you're not really sophisticated.
It's just comic books.
Well, I'm reading this graphic novel here.
You're a grown
by
child.
Alan Moore.
You're a grown man. You're a grown child.
There's a lot of us out there, Luke. You have no idea.
I want you to know I've never read one
Stepped into a
comic.
bigger world. You just don't know it yet.
I've never read one comic in my life, man.
I just quoted Nick Fury.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
From a post-credit scene that you've never seen.
I've never seen. And just for the record, I've never read a comic.
How much did we actually even review Avengers: Infinity War?
I think we reviewed. I mean, we got out the points.
It's really good. Go see it. There you go.
That is a tagline. All we need to say is it's really good. Go see it. And if you have listened to this entire thing and you're wondering what the hell our review is, it's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. You'll be depressed afterwards, though.
Yeah, you definitely will. But now you know there's a second movie, and then I actually did some research afterward, and I realized that there's the whole.
Was it like a funeral when you were walking out of the theater? Because that's how it was for me.
Most movies I usually see people quietly walk out of, so there
was no excitement from these people. Like from
people
what
just lost in their thoughts.
Like it was like people's heads were down. They were looking at their feet, and they slowly shuffled out.
Yeah, a lot of time to think.
I got small children. They weren't like bouncing on the walls either. We just all kind of filed out, and it was just like,
yeah, just that face of like,
yeah. Like the whole day, my whole Sunday was wrecked.
Yeah, it took me a while to actually come out of that too, and I really have no dedication to this comic series. So for me,
Ant-Man Wasp are coming out. There's a new trailer
I should
out.
say I've never seen Ant-Man either. So
You've never seen Ant-Man? Oh, Ant-Man's good.
yeah, only because is Judd Apatow? Is that his name? What? No, not Judd
What?
Apatow. He's a comedian. Who's the actor for Ant-Man?
I can picture him, but now that you said Judd, whatever, I can't.
You can't think of his name.
Think of his name.
He's the writer for the guy's movies for that actor's normal.
He was in Civil War too. He had the best scene in Civil War, where he became Giant Man.
That shows you how little I actually paid attention to Ant-Man. That I don't even remember that scene in Civil War.
You need to see Civil War. I think it's still streaming on Netflix.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I really don't like Ant-Man. I find most comics to be dumb, and Ant-Man's one of those. Wasp Man.
Wasp is a woman.
Wasp Woman.
No, it's just the Wasp. Ant-Man the Wasp.
I'm
gonna make you. We're gonna review Ant-Man and Wasp right here on the Useful Idiots show.
I'm gonna quit the Useful Idiot show. Man. All right, everybody. I hope that you guys go watch the movie, and if you have watched it, I hope you enjoyed the review. This is going to be a first installment of a new.
Leave all
series.
your hate comments for Luke.
Yeah, or Paul. Make fun of him for me. Actually, make fun of Paul. Just do that. So we're going to be reviewing some more movies. I think Deadpool 2 is going to be the next one we're going to be doing.
DP2.
DP2. I'm actually excited about that. I do like Deadpool.
You like the DP?
Yeah, I like the DP a lot. My favorite category. No, I'm not going to.
Interesting.
Yep. So we'll see everybody for the next episode. In fact, tune in if you don't in our other
Listen
channel.
to our show regularly.
Yeah, the Useful
There you
Idiots
go.
show. Yeah, the Useful Idiots. We're going to be posting another episode actually soon after this one. So we'll catch you guys. When does Deadpool come out? Deadpool 2?
That's a couple of weeks.
All right, well, we'll catch you guys right after that episode, or right after the movie comes out. See you guys later.